We really let Ethan build a whole game around the Montreal Expos career leaders in hits.
He's been here all week just talking about last week's defeat. It's kind of sad, dude. Get it together.
All because of the Canadians.
No, I'm angry. I'm angry, okay?
I'm okay with Canada.
I just want it to be about baseball.
Welcome to the Pitch Clock. Here's the pitch, a two-part baseball segment
combining a nostalgic baseball trivia game and an interview with an expert.
This is the Pitch Clock.
The Pitch Clock is back. Very excited to be back at it because I'm still, obviously, very angry about my defeat last week.
Whoop that!
So, we're going to talk about baseball soon. Ethan, what's the game, man?
Chris Cody, you won last week.
Yes,
Jeremy,
I did. Oh, thank you for reminding me.
Do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first.
All right, Jeremy, leave the room.
Oh, one of these things.
Okay.
All right, Chris Cody, we're going to play Statpad again. You remember how to play?
No.
Okay. I'm going to give you a category. You got to give me a player and a year.
Okay.
Today, last time we did home runs. Today we're doing hits.
Okay.
So you want to get the most amount of hits possible.
Okay.
All right. Your first category is a Houston Astro between 1980 and 2025, an outfielder.
Okay. Astro outfielder hits. My answer is going to be... He's not a hit guy, but he had some good seasons, so I'll go Carlos Lee.
Carlos Lee? He played first base, I'm pretty sure.
He played some left field. Get out of here. Shut your mouth.
Give me a year for him.
07.
190 hits.
What years did he play there?
98th percentile. He was there for a good chunk of his career for sure before he came to the Marlins. But yeah, nice pull.
Wow.
Carlos Lee.
07.
All right. Your next category is AL East third baseman between 1980 and 2025.
Okay. AL East third baseman. Let's go with Alex Rodriguez.
Yep, of course.
2009.
Okay. All right, so A-Rod this year, not your best guess.
Okay.
127 hits. That was in the 45th percentile.
That's not good. Okay.
Next category. New York Met between 1980 and 2025 that played first base.
A Met who had a lot of hits. I'll go with Carlos Delgado. The year, I feel like he went to Marlin 06.
Delgado.
Carlos Delgado 06, first base.
Yep. 82nd percentile, 139 hits.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go. Next category is a catcher from the AL West. So the Astros, the Mariners, the Rangers, the A's, and the Angels between 2020 and 2025.
So
how many AL West catchers between 2020 and
Can I
2025
name?
can you name?
Dude. Let me just try to think of one. All right, I got one.
Yeah.
Cal Raleigh.
Of course. Last year, I'm guessing. Yeah. You're in the 98th percentile again, brother. 147 hits for Cal Raleigh last year.
Jeremy will definitely say him, so that'll be a wash.
All right. And your final category. This one's tough. A Cleveland baseball player at shortstop between 1980 and 2025.
Cleveland shortstop. This is easy. Francisco Lindor.
There you go. Give me a year.
Let's call it 2017.
2017. All right, nice pull. 93rd percentile, 178 hits for Lindor that year.
So basically, who's my second guy that I said? That's basically where Jeremy can beat me here.
A-Rod.
I feel like it's
that
going to be
A-Rod
hard.
season.
It's going to be hard to beat me outside of that A-Rod.
Correct,
guess.
because you did pretty solid here. You got an 82, a 93, a 98, and a 98, but then that 43 is weighing you down. Your total score was 781. So that'll be the score that Jeremy will try to beat.
Let's do it.
All right, let's get him.
Very, very excited to have Joon Lee back on the Pitch Clock. For those of you who don't already, you can follow him at Joon, that's Joon, on Instagram, at Joon Lee on Twitter, and at I Am Joon Lee on YouTube, where he is doing really awesome work with some deep dives all around sports. You guys definitely want to go follow him there. Joon, I'm happy to have you back, and I'm actually going to start with a topic that came up through your YouTube that is applicable all across Major League Baseball right now. You recently did a video with Adam Ottavino, former big league pitcher, highlighting why everyone is throwing 100 miles an hour now. And I like literally everybody. So what are the biggest things that you took away from that conversation that you think is important for our pitch clock audience to know about before they go check out the full video?
Well, I think that there's been this major cultural shift within baseball where this idea of throwing 100 used to be almost like, oh, God gifted you this thing. And the way that major league teams now think about it is that it's much more so that you can just teach the guy. There's a couple things you can do mechanically. There's all the plyo balls and the weight training and the way that torque is kind of evaluated and all the cameras. Like, you can teach a guy to throw 100. So while there's obviously been this massive shift towards velocity, in large part because of the way that analytics have changed baseball, scouting now, especially on the cutting edge of the sport, is now much more towards pitchability and how people approach batters on a plate, the kind of mix that they have. So I think we're going to start to see the swing back towards guys who know how to pitch more than they have in the last 5 to 10 years.
It's great to see that these teams are learning now how to induce velocity as opposed to trying to teach guys how to pitch so much later into their careers. It's going to be a really good thing for Major League Baseball. But one of these guys that we all know throws 1 billion miles an hour, he's the poster boy for it right now, is Jacob Misiorowski. And I neglected bringing up the Brewers over the last few weeks. This is on me. One of our listeners reached out to me via Twitter and was so upset as a Brewers fan that we have not talked about the Brewers. So I vowed to make the first topic from one of the teams today the Milwaukee Brewers, who at the time of this recording are 14-4 in their last 18 games. They've taken over the lead in the NL Central. They're led by Jacob Misiorowski, who I have the stat here. 6 consecutive starts with 8+ strikeouts without allowing an extra base hit. No one else in MLB history has done that more than 4 games in a row. The guy's electric. Joon, the Milwaukee Brewers and their success led by Misiorowski, what stands out to you about both?
Well, Misiorowski is obviously the headline guy. He's throwing 105, and he's been this kind of force of nature since he got up to the major leagues last year. But I do think that one of the things that has been overlooked with the Brewers' success this year has been Kyle Harrison. And he's a guy who has 2.5 wins above replacement. And I say, as a Boston Red Sox fan, has been the bane of my existence this season. I think the Brewers are just the best player development system run organization in all of baseball, arguably like one of the best in all of sports, let alone in baseball. The Brewers were giving up Caleb Durbin, who has been one of the worst offensive third basemen in baseball, to the Red Sox. And people at the time in Boston were like, looks like a guy who might fit the thing and could replace Alex Bregman in the aggregate. And it has been one of the most lopsided trades in baseball in the early part of the season, in part because Kyle Harrison looks like a completely different pitcher. And this is a trend that the Brewers have been doing, not just for the last few years, but the last decade, dating back to the David Stearns era.
Jeremy, we're playing Statpad again. The number you're trying to beat. The number you're trying to beat is 781. The category we're doing
781.
The category we're doing is hits. Okay, and the number to beat is 781.
Okay.
All right. Your first category: a Houston Astro outfielder between 1980 and 2025.
Got this, Jeremy.
Outfielder.
We believe in you. If it was infielder, it'd be a lot easier. Am I right?
It would be a lot easier. Yeah. There's a guy.
There are plenty of guys.
I'm going to go Michael Bradley.
Ooh.
In 20...
Big. This is big.
Are you thinking of Michael Brantley?
Brantley.
Yes.
Whoa.
Michael Brantley, sorry.
I don't know. Judges?
I don't know why my brain just combined him with Jackie Bradley Jr. Okay, so the other year I was going to say was 19.
All right, we'll go 2019. 179 hits. 93rd percentile.
We should dock him. Like,
no, I feel
10 hits. We dock him there.
That's fine. Dock me 10 hits.
It's a good start.
I'm kidding.
I'm feeling such a lack of confidence.
As you should.
I feel bad about myself.
All right, your next category. An AL East third baseman between 1980 and 2025.
So this is your chance to make up some ground.
Okay. You know what? I'll just go with it.
Yeah, go with it.
Evan Longoria, 09.
Nice shout. Longoria, 81st percentile, 164 hits. So you're back
Okay.
in it. You're very much alive.
So you're beating me by like 20 right now, roughly. By my
All right.
math. By my bad math.
Your next category, Jer Bear.
Mm-hmm.
A New York Met first baseman between 1980 and 2025.
Just know I nailed these final three. Like, you have to be so good at these final three answers. I think if you go left eye open, right eye closed,
Who was the first baseman
opens up your brain
on
chemicals.
that team? I just don't think I don't think I know who the first baseman was there. So I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go Carlos Delgado. I'm gonna go, but I'm trying to think of what year he was
Ooh,
there.
Fun thing is, can I tell him? I chose him too,
I know you did.
but it depends on what year.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna go. Oh,
You hate to see it.
7.
All right.
Is that what I said?
Chris Cody went with 06.
Oh, thank God.
He had the same number of hits in 06
Really?
and 07.
The same amount of hits.
He had 139 hits.
So here's where we're at. You said he had 781.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm at 482. I think is the
299
math.
hits.
And I have 2 players left.
You're at 482. That's correct.
Oh, okay.
You have 2 players left.
All right. Travis Kelce has bought his way into ownership here. Yes, the Chiefs tight end, the fiance of Taylor Swift, and he is a resident of Cleveland Heights, or at least originally from there. You may have seen him shotgunning a beer at the Cavs game. But what does this mean for MLB, for Kelce, for Cleveland? Like, I would imagine you find this to be very interesting.
I think it's fascinating on so many levels. Less so about what it means for the Guardians necessarily, because like a celebrity having a minority stake is not necessarily going to impact the business of things. I do think that it's more emblematic of like the shift we're going to continue to see in how ownership groups relate to fans. There's all these conversations that are
Interesting.
going around sports right now around ownership and getting athletes more involved. And I think as like kind of these ownership groups, especially as the kind of the wealth gap in this country continues to expand, I think we're going to continue to see more of these things because these ownership groups need people who relate to the general public, and Travis Kelce is one of those guys.
Ultimate relatable man married to a billionaire. Let's get to our star of the week. We always highlight one of the stars in baseball. This week I've got 4 on the list. Let's start with Ketel Marte, who this is per Just Baseball. On May 12th, he was hitting 208 with a 625 OPS. As of today, he's hitting 275 with a 797 OPS. A ridiculous couple of weeks for him. Christopher Sanchez, who might just actually go win the NL Cy Young, forget Paul Skeens, forget Jacob Misiorowski, carries into his Wednesday start against the Padres a scoreless inning streak of 37 2/3 innings. Then there's Munetaka Murakami. He's the guy we've mentioned before. Most homers by a rookie before June, outside of Pete Alonso and Mark McGwire. And speaking of Mark McGwire, Nick Kurtz just snapped a 48-game on-base streak, which tied McGwire for the longest in A's history. So Kurtz, Murakami, Sanchez, or Marte, who stands out to you, June?
I will take Murakami, although I have an outside this list pick. I'm going to take Rafael Devers.
Bring him
who has
up.
been
Let's go.
White hot for the Giants over the course of last month. He was almost a win and a half below replacement at the end of April. He was absolutely terrible. Giants fans were coming for his neck, saying that the trade with the Red Sox was a bust on both sides. And he got up to 0 wins above replacement yesterday, which means in the last month he's had basically close to a win and a half above replacement, and has been one of the hottest hitters in all of baseball. And so Murakami, I feel like you could talk about him for hours. It's funny to go back and look at the scouting leaks that were coming out about him in the past offseason about whether or not he was going to be able to translate. And people talking about whether or not he's going to be able to hit fastballs above 95 miles an hour. I think that if you looked at his mechanics and you looked at Ohtani as kind of the precedent, Ohtani also had a bad batting average on balls above 95 miles per hour coming into Major League Baseball, and he's
That's
obviously Shohei Ohtani now. So I say this as someone who also has Murakami on my fantasy team. Like, he's been unbelievable. And so it just feels like I open Twitter on a night-to-night basis, and there's just another Murakami homer going out of the ballpark.
And crushing these homers. He's a blast
Yes.
to watch. If you guys haven't been watching the Chicago White Sox and you have MLB TV, make sure you go do it. But also, make sure you go watch everything Joon is doing over on YouTube. If you follow him on social media, he'll direct you there. But it's I Am Joon Lee on YouTube. Everything he does is fantastic. Joon, thank you again, and hopefully we can get you to stop by again later in the season.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
An AL West catcher between 2020 and 2025.
Just so I'm not going with that guy, I'm going to go with Shea Langoliers last year.
Not a bad choice.
Can't believe I listened to you.
So Chris Cody obviously went with
Cal Raleigh.
I did, and it was the best answer.
I'm sure it was.
It wasn't the best answer.
Should have gone with it.
But it was up there. All right, 133 hits for
Uh-oh.
Shea Langoliers.
I need a big one. Uh-oh.
The 95th percentile. So still a really, really good guess. You have 615 hits.
And you need what?
781.
Which means I need what?
156 to tie. 157 to win.
That means if
Okay.
he gets the guy I got, he wins.
Just enough.
Your
from
final
you.
category. A Cleveland baseball player. A shortstop from 1980 to 2025.
It was pre. I can't think of how long he's been there. I'm gonna go 2018 Francisco Lindor.
I went
All right,
17.
so just to know, so
You
know,
went 17?
Chris Cody
Oh,
went
God,
2017.
no.
Francisco Lindor. That year he had 178 hits.
That was
You
my
need
year.
157 to win,
He
Jeremy.
should be good.
183 hits. Jeremy Taché, you are the winner of this week's Statpad with
Thank
798 total. You are off the schneid, my
This
friend.
was a very good game. I like this game better. I like the versatility of knowledge, Ethan. I like that we don't just have to know a second baseman for the Montreal Expos. Hey, I won. That feels good. I don't feel anything.
I'm embarrassed for you.
I feel weird.